I hate being a single mom.
Why?
I hate being a single mom. And here are the reasons why.
Hey, what up? This is your boy, the Solo Traveler ORD. I'm backing in with another video. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell while you are here. So, back with another video review. First, I gotta give a shout out to Andre from Love Crossing Borders. He's the one who actually first sent me this video, and I actually sat on this video for several weeks now. I finally got a chance to review it and go over it. I'm sure you have seen a lot of other YouTubers who have talked about this story, have broke this down and so forth, but I wanted to give you guys a take from a person who travels and how we think about this whole situation. You know, whether it be a passport bro, passport king, blue book gentleman, whatever. I'm gonna make sure I give you guys from our perspective to how we look at this whole situation. So, this video is all about single motherhood, women choosing to be single mothers. What's interesting is these women are choosing to be single mothers, which is pretty selfish, if you tell me, because why would you choose to want to be a single mother? But without further ado, let's go ahead and check out this video.
Welcome back. Single motherhood can still be considered taboo, and many in our community look down on women that choose to raise children all on their own. But now, many women are actually choosing exactly that. It's called a single motherhood journey, and they're raising children by themselves, and I'm included in this conversation. So we really don't care what anybody thinks about it. Before we dive deep into this phenomenon, let's take a look at some of the statistics. According to a new Pew Research study, the United States has the world's highest rate of children living in single-parent households. 23% of children under the age of 18 live with one parent and no other adults in their household.
And the question is, how is this helping our society? Because of this whole path that's been going on, society has been getting worse and worse and worse. Men haven't been masculine, they're turning to become feminine. This is becoming to be such a horrible situation, this motherhood pandemic that's going on. The single mother pandemic that is going on. So for her to kind of lift it up and make it seem like it's like the best thing ever, no, this is not good.
Now, many folks will tell you that being a parent is without question the hardest job in the world. So why in the world would anybody want to take on that journey by themselves? Well, my next guest has helped create a community of Black women taking on single motherhood together. Aisha Jenkins is the co-founder of MOCA SMC, which stands for Single Mothers by Choice. After divorcing her college sweetheart, she still wanted to be a mother. An encouragement from her very religious stepmother led her to go into a path of IVF, and after several rounds, she is now the mother to two beautiful daughters. Aisha, thank you so much for joining me.
First off, I want to say that these women, this is selfish. This is straight up selfishness that they would do this to raise their kids without a father being around. Because that child, we know that a child will be better off, will excel with both parents in the house.
Strong, independent, I don't need a man. Strong, independent, I don't need a man.
That's exactly how it sounds.
I have to tell you, I am a full fan of their MOCA SMC podcast. I've listened to every single episode, and I'm very, very grateful to the knowledge and information your work has brought to the community. Now, you were still fairly young when you made the decision to become a mother all on your own. Why was it important for you to make that decision at that point in your life?
Well, having gone the traditional route, you know, the marriage, the carriage, the picket fence, and having to realize that you made a mistake. I got married at 24. I was divorced by 29. And I was looking down the barrel of never getting married again, never having children. And having been married once, I realized that I could survive never being married again, but I could not survive not having children, and especially not having children by my own will, right? I wanted to have children. It's different when you are, I can live life without children, but I really wanted to have children. I tried the marriage, it didn't work. So I'm looking straight down the barrel of doing things my way.
Brothers, make sure you protect your seed. Remember, we have passports. We could go to a whole nother country and we could find a wife. So for you guys to be donating, you guys should not be donating to this foolery that's going on here. Because think about this. You go travel to another country, you create a whole family, you have a whole unit. Let's say, for example, if you need to come back to the United States, you're going to be living next to these people here that are single mothers. And do you really want to have your kids playing with other, kids that are raised by single parents? Like, we already know how things go with them. A lot of times they're not being parented properly, because the thing about it is that while that parent is actually working, who's watching that child, especially when the child grows up? So that child is picking up a lot of things that probably shouldn't be picking up from television or whatever you could think of. So as you build your culture in your house, do you really want your child to be associated to be being with another person, single parent, mother? Think about that.
Yeah, you had to focus. Now, IVF, we know, is a very emotional journey, a very expensive journey. How were you supported throughout this process, Aisha?
So I come from a large family and I have tons of friends. And so my support village was filled with family, friends. My manager, some of my coworkers were brought into my village as well. So they supported me in that way as well.
Excellent. That's important. So you are 29-ish, maybe early 30s at best, and you know, this is what you're doing. You're going to pursue this single motherhood by choice thing. What's your very first step?
So I think so the misnomer or the misconception is that a woman appears and she decides that, hey, I want to have a baby on my own. And that's not really the case. I think, as you know, it's a journey to even get to the point where you're going to have kids on your own. And so I played around with the idea for maybe 2, 3 years. And I recall having a conversation with one of my girlfriends saying that, I was about 32, 33, that I wanted to have a kid and I was not really dating anybody. And this conversation with a friend who was a single mother by chance, she's just like, go and have a baby. And so that was almost like a light, gentle permission. I continued dating for a while and realized that my dating options were just kind of hit or miss. And so
Nobody
once I
wanted you.
hit the realization that, hey, I'm looking at 35, your fertility starts to go down at 35. What am I going to do? So it was kind of getting to the do or die point for starting, because most people don't realize that they have fertility issues, that fibroids are a thing, endometriosis is a thing, until you actually start to try. And so my advice to younger people would be to get those numbers. Those numbers give you a ton of information so that you can make an informed decision. So once I knew that I was on my way, by the time you get to a fertility clinic and you start talking to doctors, you get those numbers and it's like a fire gets lit under your behind. I need to do this now. And so I did have a fibroid that I needed to get removed. And so when I was about 37, I got the fibroid removed. And then that's when I started trying. I tried in October using IUI. It did not work. My second try in November worked, and I had my first baby that following summer.
Mm.
Amen. Listen, Aisha, I have a lot more that I want to unpack with you, so stay with us. And after the break, we want to discuss the organization that you helped create in order to provide support for other women like me that are on the same journey. That's next on The Griot.
Black women in particular, choosing this path is not easy because of what society tells you you can do.
Strong, independent, I don't need a man. Strong, independent, I don't need a man.
We're back with even more on our conversation about navigating single motherhood by choice. Listen, we're learning that more and more Black women are choosing this path, and they're not listening to what society or critics have to say about it. Still with me is Aisha Jenkins. She's the co-founder of MOCA SMCs, Single Mothers by Choice. Aisha, let me ask you how you plan to talk to your two daughters about your decision to pursue motherhood by choice, solo, when they do eventually, of course, ask you about their father or what went into your decision making.
Well, I love that question because I think most people think that the conversation starts about 9 or 10. The conversation actually starts when the kids are in preschool because these little kids do talk. They notice who comes to pick up, who comes to drop off each of their friends. And so in the single mother by choice community, we start having that conversation more to practice at a very early age. It starts to become more concrete for the kids. My youngest is now 3, and she's starting to ask me those questions like, mommy, tell me about my when I was in your belly, and they love their conception stories. And
Jesus
so we
Christ.
start talking in more concrete terms when they're about 3 or 4. My oldest is now about to be 9, and she's starting to make the connections between genes and ancestry and skin tone differences and hair texture differences. And so I would say you start right around 2, and the conversation is just an ongoing conversation where you get more and more concrete about where they came from, their genetic history, and you start really laying the bricks for the foundation of their identity.
So, of course, there's going to be
Yes.
the peanut gallery and critics that are going to say that, what are you ladies doing? All children are best served with a two-parent household. They need that father in their life and in their development. And Aisha, what do you say to that?
My response is I don't listen to the naysayers. I live my life on my terms based on having the least amount of regret, right? Because the same people who are naysayers are out there dating however they want, however many people they want, creating babies, broken homes. For me, a
Dr.
single mother
Cal.
by choice household is one that is filled with love.
You're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. It doesn't matter if you believe you're doing it with love. It's still a broken household, no matter what.
We come to this path, a lot of us, from love. We deeply desire to have these children. We spend time and we take the time to get to know these babies. We talk to them because part of it is because we have to, right? We're laying the foundation for telling them their conception story. So that takes a lot of time. And so, to anybody out there who is on the fence, who's thinking about, should I do this or should I not? My response would be try, quiet the noise, ask yourself, what is it that you're going to regret most at the end of your life? Because at the end of your life, it's just you and the person in the mirror. Ask yourself, what am I going to regret most?
You're gonna regret not doing it with somebody. But yo, like I said, this right here, they are selfish for this whole situation. Brothers, make sure you keep getting your passports and leave. You see what's going on here. There is a shortage of black sperm out there. And the more you get your passports, the more you go out there, go find something else, it's gonna be harder for them to even do this type of stuff. I'm not saying this to be malicious, whatever, but do you really want your seed to be growing up in a single family home? So go out there, create your family, create your communities, and go enjoy yourself. You got to leave the matrix. Tell you guys, it's well worth it. You have better options. You don't want to be looking at this. You don't want to be involved in this mess that's going on. So let's move on to the next video, to reality, because the next video is about a single mother, a woman who regrets being a single parent. So let's move on to the next video. So this video says why I hate being a single mom. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, I'm about to say the most taboo thing, but I have to say it because I know other single moms feel the same way. Okay. Full disclaimer, I love my daughter. I'm a better woman today because of my daughter. She eats before I eat. She gets new clothes before I do. She goes to an amazing school. I bust my ass for my daughter. There's nothing in this world I would do like I wouldn't do for my daughter. Okay, boom. But
Tell us.
I hate being a single mom.
Why?
I hate being a single mom. And here are the reasons why. One, I hate that it took me out of my soft, feminine state, and it really shook me up and put me in my masculine state. 2, I can't help to feel guilty that my daughter's not being brought up in a 2-parent household. I go out to restaurants and parks and I see other babies and other kids and they're so happy with their mom and dad. And I feel like my daughter was robbed of that. And I can't help it to question, would I be a better mom to my daughter? Would my daughter be happier if she had a father in her home?
Yeah.
Okay. And that has nothing to do with wanting to be back with her dad. It's just a simple matter of, I wish I was raising my daughter with a partner. I wish I wasn't doing it alone. Okay. I also hate that I am depleted most days. I'm crabby. I'm stressed out. I don't have time to myself. I don't have a social life. And it's because I'm a single mom. Children aren't meant to be raised by just mom. Children are meant to be raised in a loving household. And things happen, but it still doesn't mean that my feelings aren't valid. I'm right to feel this way.
It's true.
So yeah, I love my daughter, but I hate being a single mom. And I desperately wish that I was raising her with a partner.
Shouts out to her for even acknowledging that, for even making a video on this, because most of the time, a lot of people will actually get down on her, will talk about her for even talking about this, but she talked about the realization of being a single mother. Of course, society will tell you, you could be a single mother, be a single parent. It's not a problem. You can make it happen. You're strong. No, that is rough to be able to do that stuff alone. That is rough. You know, it's rough being in a two-parent household of doing it. So I can only imagine being alone doing it. You know, so that's, I'm like, look, for all of those people that's trying to sell this dream, you guys are being delusional. You guys are trying to cause society to go downhill, worse than what it is now. But leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the video. This is your boy, the Solo Traveler ORD. Thanks again for checking out the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out.